Hi you guys, so today's video we're going to be talking about my experience in Las Vegas. I did mention very slightly that I was in Vegas for a minute or two. I was there to go see Cher. That was the only reason I was there. I did not care about the escorts or the people that you could hire on the side to do, stuff with and things like that. There were a lot of escort services, like the people were passing out flyers like crazy. So I thought I'd tell you about my experience in Vegas. It was a really, really nice experience. We went to go visit Eminem World, where they had like 2 stories of nothing but Eminem stuff. And we went to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. That was a really cool experience. I think if you're over 60 something, you get a senior citizen discount. I think with everything pretty much over there. So we went to Madame Tussauds. We went to the Wax Museum. We went to the Titanic Museum, which was really awesome. They had lots and lots of artifacts. They had an actual piece of the ship in there, and they had this. It was the Titanic Museum was in like this little pyramid thing where they had a bunch of museums side by side by side, and they had this one museum in there which was the human body exhibit, and I got to go in there. We actually bought Titanic tickets to go see it. I mean, it was an amazing experience. Don't want to ruin it for you guys, but it was a pretty cool, very remake of the movie basically experience. Like you get to feel like you're really there, and it's pretty awesome. Just lots and lots of artifacts, and I will say this: that they do have a section of the ship in there, which is really really nice, and a recreation of the ship where you get to feel like you're actually in the Titanic, which is pretty awesome, and some photo ops. Of course, you can do all of that. As far as the human body exhibit, that's something that's not for kids, definitely, because it's like real, legit dead bodies in there, unclaimed dead bodies. So that they had like a doctor in there or some kind of guy that was dressed in a lab coat, basically explaining where they get all the bodies from. It was a real human body exhibit, and they have like basically they strip down the body and they show you every section of the body, and they got like and they preserve everything in silicone, which is crazy. I know this seems so insane, but they actually stripped the guy's skin off and basically they preserved it in silicone and put it in a glass display case. I don't know how they did this, but they did it. Basically, it was Asian descent. It was of Asian descent, unclaimed bodies. It was pretty interesting experience. If you kind of don't like stuff like that, I mean, obviously I wouldn't go to that, but the other museums were very cool. So it was what was it? It was the nervous system, like top to bottom, that was preserved in a glass case. Silicone skin, like front and back, full skin, hair and everything, preserved in silicone, which is really really cool. I think that was a really just an interesting experience. Like they had like a lung, like a smoker's lung, preserved in silicone in a case. The lung was completely solid black, and like no judgment from me personally. I don't care if you smoke or not. That's your decision. I'm just telling you what I've experienced at the thing. So the lung was completely black, and next to it they had like a whole case of like different brand cigarettes. What else they had? They had a baby at every stage of life. You know, when it's growing inside the woman's belly, just a baby that was pickled in a jar in every stage of life. They have things like that. So I mean, if you kind of like want to see stuff like that, I mean, this would be a not the museum for you. But I'm just telling you what I've experienced in there. What else they had? I know they basically just strip down the human body. That's the kind of exhibit it is. They show you the skin, the nervous system, the bones, the organs, and just show you, I guess, how the human body functions and things like that, which was a really cool experience. It's very cool if you don't mind seeing the human body, if you're okay with that. I mean, it's a really cool experience. That stuff like that doesn't bother me. Like I could be one of the people that do autopsies. Like they would not bother me, and because I like seeing stuff like that. I used to watch that plastic surgery channel when people used to get facelifts and they used to put staples in their head and everything like that. All that stuff doesn't gross me out because I've seen injuries and like with the skin coming off and just like the bones and just like stuff like that doesn't gross me out. Like I could work in the medical field honestly, but I don't have the brain to do it. I just visually it doesn't bother me. It's just very interesting to me. But the guy in there was very like educated. I think he was a nurse, but I'm not some kind of doctor. But he was I don't know if he was just museum guy, and he was just dressed for the part, you know. But it was a really, really cool experience, you guys. It was just different, you know. I don't remember how much it was, but I think it was like a pack. And how I got to go into the dead body exhibit, it was called the human body exhibit, but basically it was deceased, unclaimed bodies that they basically stripped apart and show you how the human body works. But how I got to see that is we had bought tickets for the Titanic Museum to go see it because that was cool. Nobody really wanted to go to the human body exhibit but me, so I don't know, like I was kind of walking around, I was standing in line for tickets to go buy to go see the human body exhibit. And they give the military free tickets and free passes to go see all these museums. And this guy was like, did not want to go in there. He's like, do you want these tickets? I don't want to go to the human body exhibit. I was like, yeah, sure. So that's how I got to go see it. It was a really, really interesting experience, you guys. And we didn't go on the strip though. I noticed like a strip where it's like all lights and stuff like that and gift shops. We stayed in the area where Cher was. That's where we kind of stayed at. You know, they had restaurants. They had, and we stayed at the Flamingo Hotel, which is really, really nice area. That's where Donnie and Marie was at the time. We did not go see the show, but I think Donnie and Marie were there. I don't know whether they actually stayed at the hotel, but they were there and they had their little show there, which is really great. I kind of wished I would have gone and see them. I like Marie, not so much Donnie, but Marie, and she had all of her dolls in the gift shop. They had merch. They had so much stuff there. They had her outfits on display. And in this Cher area where Cher's concert is like right like above it, I think, or right. You know, you go up the steps to go see the concert. They had her outfits on display. And when you buy the tickets and you got to go into the venue, they had some of her old 90s costumes where she had that big red hair and like that long trench coat. They had her store was in there, her actual store, and they had a gift shop that was with Vegas. But her store was in there also. And I got to see her in the front row, which was really great. I met these two Canadian guys. They were a couple. They were really, really nice people. And now the guy surprised them with the tickets. And she kind of like flew in from the back, so she was on this little cable thing and just going over the audience. If you've seen the YouTube videos, this was way back when. And at the time that I went, she just finished Burlesque, and she's like, this was the first time you're gonna see this. And we seen Welcome to Burlesque, which is her thing. That was really, really cool. And she had on like this fringy thing with the she had like a sequin full clothed, like see-through sequin bodysuit, like head to toe, and she had like a little bikini thing on with the little fringe things. The one thing I was upset, like I didn't get to see the Laverne thing, and nobody ever posted it on YouTube, so that was kind of sad. But that was a really cool show. I paid good for that tickets. I think my grandma didn't really care for us, so she sat like a couple of rows back. She kind of just did like that to me, like she nodded her head, and like she was like cool or whatever. But it was a really nice show. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. We stayed at the Flamingo. The Flamingo was pretty cool, you guys. It was an old hotel, you guys. Like standing up in the hotel room, like my head is this close from the ceiling. It was a very, very, low ceiling hotel, but it was really cool. I think I bought a Marie Osmond doll, if I'm not mistaken, but I've since, gotten rid of her. It's the one with the little hat and the little curls, and she had a vinyl doll. It was really strange, but we seen that. It was just a really, really awesome experience. You guys, if you ever go to Vegas, I mean, it's a really cool experience. You just gotta ignore all the people that's doing all of this. They have guys legit on both sides of you when you walk in on a strip and they're trying to hand you numbers for escorts, because it's escorting is legal down there. So when you escort um, um, women escorts, it's legal down there. So I mean, the guys are passing out flyers, and it's a service that they provide for you down there. So if you're interested in that, they have that also. But I'm not interested in that. No. But I mean, overall, you guys, we went to Jimmy Buffett's restaurant. That was really nice. I mean, it was just a really cool, easygoing time. I'm not a club person. I'm like a 90-year-old man in a 28-year-old, like a 30-year-old man's body, basically. My mentality is of a 90-something-year-old man. I'm basically like an old person in a young person's body. I feel like an old soul. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys feel like that? Like you're an older person in what you really are? That's basically what I feel like sometimes. I'm an old soul. I could feel it, you know, because I listen to old music or like older things or like antique things. I would rather go shopping at antique shops any day than go to any type of club or anything like that. I'm not really a drinker neither. I don't really drink too much. Maybe occasionally I'll have a drink, but I'm not. I don't like the taste of alcohol. Just never did. Plus, I'm on prescriptions. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for me to drink. But so that was my experience in Vegas, you guys. I mean, it was a really cool experience. I highly recommend you go there one day. I mean, you can go see Celine and Mariah and Cher. You just gotta wait for them people to come down. You know, whoever you like, or just go there for the experience. It's a really nice experience. And I know they had, I think it was called Fremont Street, where they had all the lights and stuff like that. I kind of wish I would have gone there down there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Whether you've been to Vegas and you've liked it or not, just let me know your experience in the comments down below. And just remember to like and subscribe, and you'll see more doll videos. Bye.